Welcome back to the reality, guys. I'm your host, Billy Blinks, joined as always by my co-host, Brian.
What's going on, everybody?
Back to talk the Valley. This is season 1, episode 3, Doubting Doty. Brian, Kristen Doty, we knew she would be just like Jax, the center of the drama and the center of the filth in this show. And we are right in it here in episode 3. Um, Really the main point of contention that kind of starts a lot of the argument amongst the group throughout this episode is an alleged conversation with Kristen, with Janet, what's the dude's name?
Zach?
Zach, talking about Michelle. Michelle basically supporting or not supporting some kind of a bill that involves whether it was a minority group or an LGBTQ community. The allegation is by her supporting that she was a racist and possibly a homophobe. Those words were never thrown out there. It seems like what Zach did was kind of give the like, huh, I get with that. I get what you're throwing out there. And Kristen takes that when she gets defensive during a fight and goes, well, Laura's saying that, like, yeah, she's a racist. It's like,
It's such a weird thing to bring up in a fight, though.
I don't know where I stand. I do think Kristen's partially telling the truth. I do think that this was kind of said, or at least highly alluded to, like I said, but the guy Zach is playing like that was never said. That never came out of my mouth. And it's like, yeah, but you know what you were throwing down, right?
Could have just been like, yeah, he could have just been like, oh, ha ha ha, like a joke. But like, yeah, he didn't like concrete say that. So I
we
mean, they're
see
gonna
the
watch this
video
back.
clips.
Yeah,
Listen,
and
Dodie,
think, yeah,
Dodie is left out to dry. I feel like, listen, she's an idiot. You don't say that shit. You don't do it. You're already in the shit with everybody. Don't bring that up, especially. And like I said, I can't stand Jesse. I think he's a bad
total loser.
husband, loser dad, the whole thing. Like we've talked about that already. But if you're Kristen Doty and you're going to throw the word racist out there, I'm not saying she's a racist either, but with what happened and how she was thrown off of Vanderpump with the bullying, and the person was a black woman who was it Faith? I think it was Faith or one of the she like that. You gotta know that's gonna get thrown back in your face. And that's really tough.
Yeah, was she crying? She was crying, right?
I would assume so. I couldn't really. It's tough. She was upset, but then the stuff happens with the boyfriend and Luke. Like Luke's jumping up and he's banging, and then Jesse's banging the table like he's Judge Judy, and he's shushing his wife like he's like a mafia don. Like
Yeah.
this episode had everything. They had a couple's therapy session where you could just tell like he sucks and that they're
Oh yeah.
done.
Oh yeah, dude. Luke looks like Captain America before the super soldier serum.
It's very funny.
Yes, but yeah, Jesse sucks. I mean, especially as a dad, and I watch some of the stuff he does. It just kind of just like it irks me a lot. But yeah, you can't like the whole shushing thing was like that was wild. That was wild.
I that was my audible
And I
gasp
and I
of
and
the
I think that
episode.
she in the moment like didn't like
Register.
Zach's face. Yeah, it didn't register because I think he was trying to defend her. I'm not saying what he did was right. I'm not saying that at all. But I think that she probably blew past it because they were allies
Yeah.
against Kristen. And when he said that or did that, and Zach's face, Zach had awesome faces during the. They kept showing him during the dinner. They needed a cam on him in the corner the entire time because he was like his face was
He's like, I would never. Like, um, something I thought was funny this episode too, on the more lighthearted side, because the Capri dinner was obviously a disaster, an absolute disaster.
why are people having theme parties to it for
Because
dinner?
they're rich and they're
I don't
stupid and they're
understand
renting
this
out
stuff.
this house. It's not even their house. They're renting out
So
somebody's house.
stupid.
Like waste of money. Just
Is this a Bravo thing? They do this on Below Deck. Like these
I think
rich
it's an
people are
LA thing.
so
I think
like I
it's
want
an
to have a
LA
theme
thing,
party.
frankly.
It's
I
so
think that's an
dumb.
LA thing. Uh,
So
was Jax. We get to see a little bit of, and we know the bar's open now and stuff, but Jax's Studio City interviewing staff. Really interesting tidbit nugget here. Jax doesn't have any money invested into this bar, not a dollar. How's it going to ruin the marriage? He's such an idiot. This dope is going to do something so he's going to be so go out of his way to be a bad like husband. Like, because like you saw and Watch What Happens Live, she's like, yeah, it has a part to do with it. It's like, how could he be that stressed? He doesn't have any money into it.
I think it's just Hammer. Yeah, he's just we know how he is. She said it was like an argument that they had or something where
Well,
he
remember, like he even remember he was on House of Villains. He's like, I could use this money. I'm stressed. I just opened a bar, and it's like,
we
yeah,
know he's a liar. He's a liar.
the implication is that you have a lot of money on the line. You're full of shit.
Yeah, well, that we know who he is. So like that's why
It's so
whenever
classic.
he gets in these arguments and he says these things, like you can laugh about it because he's lying. everything is it's never everything is not 100%. It's always like 30% a lie at least. Something like you know what I mean? Like it's
No,
never it's not yeah, it's
there's never a full truth. Everything's a little altered. Everything's photoshopped a
that's why
little
he's
bit.
good for TV. That's why he's fun to watch.
Listen, it's a very interesting dynamic because they're separated. They're still going to keep doing their podcast together. Like they're just like they'll still do season two. Like they don't care. Like they are going to just like keep plugging away. Like basically the anti Ariana and Sandoval.
Yeah, no comment.
Just gonna plug away. Um,
Money
yeah.
talks.
What else do I have on here that was a big note? Those were honestly the major items. I just like in general that this cast is a hot mess. Frankly, it's really good for the show. It's not a slow burn. It's very very good. There are established feuds. Now 3 episodes in, I can tell who likes who and who doesn't like who and who the troublemakers are, and at least as of now, who seem like the good ones. And let's see who maybe has a redemption and who falls apart, right? We know the season's going to end with the Jackson Brittany separation. We know they picked the cameras back up. She's being very open about it. I, I just they're doing the polls with her. Like, should they get back together? The 90% no. It's just like he's got to be pulling his hair out. Like he knows he's done so.
Who's voting in this polls?
I would love to know
Audience?
that
Is it the
actually, people.
audience?
Like
I think is it the audience?
I thought it said viewers.
It just calculates so quickly that like
It's just BS. They try
yeah,
to
that's what I was saying. Yeah, I think it's very BS. I think it's very dependent on who is sitting in the chair, how the votes.
what
You
people
know,
said, like when the actress is like, no, it's like all of a sudden swings
yeah,
to
yeah.
no. Like,
Which is fine. Again, it's a TV show.
I
You
don't
can't
care. It's
take it
entertainment.
like. I think that's the one thing that I think a lot of people who watch these shows is like that we realize is like it's not real all the time.
It's yeah. I mean, this one seems to be more real right now than some of the Vanderpump stuff, just outside, just because of time
Oh
and
yeah, 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 right.
no,
But
for sure.
some of these situations where they like, oh, I need to talk to you on camera. They already had this conversation, I'm sure. Like they're saving these things to have conversations on camera for a reason.
I am very curious to see. I love a good to be continued, and this is considered going to be a continuation next week. I've again overall I'm really enjoying getting 2 hours of Vanderpump in a row. It's a nice mix because it is two different shows as well, and sitting to see some of the crossover characters and stuff. I'm really enjoying my. It's like the whole is better than like the sum of the parts. Like I really enjoy my overall 2 hours, regardless if like one part is better than the other. I usually haven't like these last 3 weeks. I've not been upset that we've had 2 hours of it.
No, yeah, I agree. Because I mean, the think about all the other shows that we watch are like almost 2 hours.
Yeah, we want to
Bachelor
jump off a
terrible,
bridge.
Survivor terrible. Like at least funny things happen on these shows, or even if it's not as it's a little scripted at times. Like it's still interesting, even if like Ariana and Tom won't talk. It's still definitely
And we're
more fun to
getting there
watch.
now. I mean, they speak.
They
So
talked a lot this week, and
yeah. So we'll get that. We see the teaser with the fight and then the boyfriend who probably is going to be, yeah, that's going to be an interesting interaction.
wait. Are you talking about Kristen Doty right now? Or are you talking
No,
about
I'm talking about when we were just talking about Ariana with eventually
oh, the
Tom.
boyfriend shows up?
Yeah, they showed that in the trailer, like not for next week, but like in this season.
To
Like
what, confront Tom Sandoval?
I think Tom Sandoval introduces himself. So I don't think it's gonna be like
How
a
does he
fight.
know?
I think it's very curious. It'll be very funny to see that interaction. So just like all these people when we see them next season when there's multiple separated couples and
Mhm.
we start having possible dating involved and like that stuff's gonna be good.
Yeah.
That'll
Right.
be good. Jealous Jacks, wild. Good, very
Like
good.
unhinged. I thought if he's probably gonna hook up with the bartender, the one that they wouldn't show.
Yeah, they
They
gave
only
you the
showed neck
quick
up, which was
half like clip because then they let you know like what they were all trying to avoid. So
yeah, right.
very, very funny. But yeah, solid 2 hours tonight. Like Brian mentioned, we're covering a lot of other stuff. If you're just not into Bravo, we are doing things like Brian's had Martha's Vineyard, Summer House going on. I'll have a below deck review tomorrow with Jill Zarin. Shout out if you're a Housewives alumni, old New York alumni. We're doing competition reality shows right now, like Survivor. Um, Looking for some other shows to come back soon, Netflix shows especially. So if we watch it, if you watch it, we probably cover it more so. But for myself, Brian, everyone here at the Reality Guys, thank you so much for watching. See you.